This is the Getting Into Alignment podcast. Here we play in the quantum world of possibilities. If you desire it, you get to have it. My name is Alexa Ray Smith. I'm a business coach and spiritual teacher for women in business. I'm here to help you unlock your personal power and tap into your magnetism so that you can manifest the most incredible life for yourself and build the business of your dreams. These episodes will help you plug into the energy of infinite potentiality and teach you the tools you need to play in this world where limitations don't exist. On this podcast, I'll be talking to you about energetics, mindset, embodiment, spirituality, money, and business. Everything that you want is on the other side of you getting into alignment. Hey everyone, I want to come on here and talk to you today about playing in the frequency of your desires. So many times, and for so many years of my life, so I get this. I get it because I've lived it. We are so busy cutting ourselves off from our desires because of all of the limitations and lack that we have been sold by society, by our programming, by our parents, by our lived experiences. So many people are living their lives on autopilot. So many people are living unconsciously. So many people are living in this numbed out state where they don't even feel what it feels like to be alive because they have been so numb for so long. They had always wanted to be an artist growing up, but they had heard from their parent if they weren't a lawyer or a doctor, then it wouldn't be safe. Then they would be a broke artist, that starving artist archetype. Or they could go trade in their soul and they could go work on Wall Street. That's basically like when I was growing up, those were the two paradigms. You come from a blue class family, so if you want to go to college, you better get financial assistance, and then you better get a good job because you need to be able to at least be a blue collar person to at least somewhat be able to pay your bills. Like there was no, you can do whatever the fuck you want and you can make an insane amount of money and you can have the most amazing life and you can do all of that while traveling the world. Like that's what I wanted to hear growing up. I wanted to hear that I could have everything that I ever wanted and that I could do everything I ever wanted and life could be really fun, it could be really juicy, and it could be really abundant. And I was constantly told, that's not how it is. That's not how it is. And what ends up happening is from such a young age, we are told while we're being programmed from 0 to 7 that you can't have it all. We're never told that we can have it all and they actually mean it. We're told that when we're little kids, but then the real world catches up and they're like, no, but you have to go to school now, or you need to go get that degree, or you need to go get that job, or you need to start saving money. And everything is all about sacrifice, lack. Like we are built to prepare to live in lack. And then we wonder why we go throughout our lives so miserable, so bored, so unfulfilled. And it's because we have cut ourselves off from the frequency of our desires. And we are energetic beings living in an energetic universe. So if you're not allowing yourself to vibrate at the highest potential frequency that's available to you, the longer you do that, the less alive you're going to feel, because this channel that you have to receive is where everything flows through. It's where the excitement flows through. It's where the ideas flow through. It's where the aliveness, the electricity, it's where all of the really high vibrational feelings that we want to feel, that all of the abundance of money, all of the abundance of love, all of the excitement, all of the passion, everything we're looking for is available to us. It's just on a different frequency. And I was talking to someone the other day about how the lived experience of somebody who's living in poverty and lack is so different than the lived experience of somebody that's living in wealth. And I feel like this is a really good metaphor for living in the frequency of your desires or not, because at all times, there are people that are living very wealthy lives, and simultaneously, there are people that are living lives of poverty. So I'm going to break it down in my family just so you have an example of what I'm talking about. So I've got 3 aunts on my mom's side, and the oldest one is wealthy as fuck. She is wealthy. My uncle that she's married to, like, they were both very successful people, money, successful, and then they've been together forever, so their resources are combined. So, like, millionaire status, like, she's got money. And then there is my aunt. So, like, these are my mom's 2 oldest sisters, and my mom being the youngest. And then there's my aunt, who's the middle aunt, who is, like, the nicest woman in the world, but she is one of those coupon fanatics who is constantly cutting out coupons. Before you go anywhere, you have to, like, look through coupons and see. If you're gonna go shopping, you need to go to, like, 17 places, and you need to have coupons, and everything's about a coupon. Everything's about getting a good deal. Everything's about a sale. So if you go out to eat with my wealthy aunt, you'll go out to eat with her. She'll get a glass of wine. I'll get a glass of wine. She'll typically get a white glass. I drink cab, so I'll get my cab. And then she'll drink her 1 glass of wine, and she'll be like, ooh, I think I'm going to have a glass of red, because Alexa's drinking a glass of red, and I'm one of the only people in the family that drinks wine with her. So she will get a second glass, and it will be, you know, like a Pinot Noir typically. And she'll take like 1 or 2 sips out of it, and then we'll have our conversation. And by the time, because I drink my wine faster than her, by the time I'm finished with my second glass, that's typically when we leave and get up from dinner. She's done. She only wanted like 1 or 2 sips out of her wine, so the wine just stays there. She takes her 1, 2 sips, doesn't worry about it at all. And the second that I'm done with her wine, we're like, all right, let's go. That wine stays there. That wine gets dumped out. A lot of people that live in scarcity and lack are like, what do you mean that she ordered a second glass of wine and she only took 1 to 2 sips out of it? That's so wasteful. So my aunt, and this isn't like to throw shame, right? This is to show you how 2 different people who literally share the same cellular DNA can live such a different life experience at the same fucking time. Then if you go out to dinner or lunch with my aunt, first of all, my first aunt, you would go to a really, really nice place. You would get anything off the menu that you wanted. You wouldn't be looking at prices. You would be getting what you want because you desire it. And it would be healthy. It would be good for you. It would be nutrient dense. You would be in a place where there would be like a sexy atmosphere. It's a place where there's only one. Like, there's only one of them. It's not a chain. It's a really nice, like, local restaurant. There's ambiance. Like, it's a total vibe. Then you go out to eat with my aunt, and it's my other aunt, and it's like, okay, so what chain restaurant do you want to go to? Do you want to go to Wendy's? Do you want to go to Chili's? Do you want to go to Pizzeria Uno? I've got a coupon for that. Just make sure that we've got the coupon before we go. Look through the coupons. Or you get there and she's like, okay, so I've got 3 coupons picked out. Which restaurant do you want to go to? And then you go there, and you, like, if it's happy hour, she'll get a beer. And if not, it's like, oh, she'll just get a soda. And it's going to be like, well, do you have free refills? And it'll be like, oh, well, so I have this coupon, so we're going to get this appetizer, even though it's like the worst appetizer for you ever. It's going to be in a place that is super, like, there's no vibe at all. The food is going to have like no nutrition value, but we've got a coupon, so we can get like both of our meals and then an appetizer, and we can pay like $20. So, like, of course. And the whole time you're there, you're like, whoa, this is like not a vibe. This is gross. I'm getting gross food for me. I probably can't even eat anything there because I'm gluten-free and I'm plant-based. And so it's like, okay. And then with her, while you're eating and making sure that you're getting all of the discounts and all of the coupons, then before you leave, it's like, if you got beer, you better drink that all. If you got food, you better make sure that you eat it all. If you don't eat all of your food, you better make sure you take it home. when you go out to eat with my wealthy aunt, you don't take anything home. Like, unless you really want to. Are you actually going to eat it later? No, then leave it. Like, why do you need to take home more stuff? Why do you need to take home a takeout container, which is bad for the planet, if you're actually not going to eat it? And if the thing that you're eating isn't actually nutrient dense, then why are you eating it? It doesn't matter that it's cheap food. So this is the thing with people that live in their desires versus people that live in lack and wealth. So when you are someone that lives in your desires, you are operating with the frequency of a wealthy person. So in that first example, the first going out to eat story with my wealthy aunt, you are playing in the frequency of desire. You are going to a sexy restaurant. You're going to a vibey restaurant. You're going to a place where you're going to get a really amazing meal. You're going to a place where you're going to get a really high quality glass of wine, perhaps two. You're going to a place where no one's going to force you to eat anything. You're going to a place where when your body says that you're no longer full, you get to stop eating. You don't have to eat it because, oh my God, that's $1 worth of food left over. So there's like a whole different experience when you are living in desire versus when you're living in lack. Somebody in lack is constantly looking at the price. Well, yeah, this is what I want. I really want a prime rib, but the prime rib's like $24. So I'm going to go get that chicken quesadilla because it's only $12. This is what people that live in lack do. They know what they want. They want that prime rib, but instead of allowing themselves to eat the fucking prime rib, to order the fucking prime rib and to feel really good because this is what they wanted, and because they want it, they get to have it, and how fucking delicious is that? Like, that's the desire frequency. When you are following your desires instead of your logic. We've been so programmed and so taught that in order for you to become successful, in order for you to live a life where you have money, you have to be very safe. You have to be very, you have to overanalyze everything. You have to rationalize your way through everything. And then what ends up happening is you're miserable and you feel unalive because you stopped allowing your desires to be the breadcrumb to get you the life that you've dreamed of. Because when you follow your desires, you end up living in the moment, feeling fully tapped in, plugged in. You're not letting your mind control your reality. You're letting your desire lead, and your body is following that, and your mind isn't getting in the way of allowing you to get what you want to have. But so many people have been so conditioned to be logical that when their desire frequency starts to open up their channel so that way they can vibrate with the 5-dimensional being that they were born to be, their mind comes in and caps them and says, no, that's not smart. Like, we can't actually go buy that right now, even though we want it, because we do have the money in the bank, but we have to pay our bills, and so that's just not the right move. Do you feel how, like, boop, you're literally cut off the moment that your mind starts going, yeah, but, and this noise chatter just starts going on in your mind, and you allow it to affect your frequency. So many people are wondering, like, how do I raise my vibration? How do I shift into a higher frequency? And it's by following your desires. And so many people also, ironically, want to make money and want to have an abundant life, yet they aren't living abundantly. Wealth is a frequency. Abundance is a frequency. Money is just a piece of paper that has ink on it, that has a meaning that we've given to it. Money has no meaning over you, but you have given your power away to everything else, including money, that you are thinking that you can only be in your power when you have money, not realizing wealth is a frequency that you tap into, and because you've tapped into it, the money comes. The clients come, the business starts working, everything starts working out because you're not living in your head. You are living in your heart, and you're allowing what you want to do and the things that you want to be doing to light you up and to guide you. Instead of being like, oh, well, what's the price of that? Or does that actually make sense for me to do? It's about not allowing your mind to stop you from living the life that you want to live. And that is honestly the hardest work that we'll do as humans, because we were programmed to operate in disharmony. Like, that's what's so crazy, is if we were never programmed by this lack-based society and by our parents who were programmed in scarcity, we would be waking up as little baby humans knowing that we were divine creatures and we got to experience the most magical life that we've ever dreamed of. And that's it. Like, what you want, you get to do, and what you want to do is what's lighting you up, and that's what's giving back to this world, because your energy is lit up. And so when you're following what you want, everyone else is happier. So, like, stay in your own lane, do what you want to do, stop judging people. Everyone's perfect, everyone's unique, and it's so beautiful because we all complement one another. And you get to do what you love, and you get to have all of the money in the world, and you get to travel the world, and you get to have a family if you want to have a family, and if you don't, then cool too. And if you want to have 1 million dogs, you get to have 1 million dogs because you've got all of the money in the world to support that. It's our programming. It is our programming that tells us that we can't have it. And what ends up happening is it's the women or men that do the work to unprogram themselves, so that way they can unlock their desire frequency, so that way they can open up their channel to receive everything they've ever desired. Not because it makes sense, not because it's financially responsible, but because it's what they want. And they trust that they live in an abundant universe, and if they want that thing now and they desire that thing now, they get to have it now. And they get to have everything else that they desire too. There's no sacrifice. It's not because you chose to get this desire today that all of a sudden you can't have your next desire tomorrow. This is the thinking that we have to get out of. This is the lack-based programming that we've been trained in, that we've been taught in, that is just constantly fed to us through all of the media streams, through everything. And that's why so many people are so activated by the coaching world, by the spirituality world, by the manifestation world, because we're telling you, and I'm telling you loud and clear, if you haven't heard me, you get to have everything you want and everything else too. I live in a this and that universe. It's never this or that. You don't have to limit yourself. You don't have to choose one thing and then sacrifice the next thing. It's about adding, and the only thing that we are removing are those limiting beliefs that tell us that we can't have what we want. The only thing that we're removing are the energetic blocks that keep us in disharmony from operating in alignment. So many people are trying to manifest, and they're trying because they're in their head. Manifestation isn't a head thing. Like, fuck the law of attraction thinkings. Like, honestly, just fuck them. That's not it. That's not a holistic approach, and that keeps you in your mind. If you are trying to affirm things and journal from your mind, but you are in a lack-based frequency, all you're going to get is more lack, because the universe is speaking to you by your frequency. So if you're constantly giving off this frequency of lack, the universe cannot give you anything other than lack. Like, I just don't understand why we think that we can be lack, and then we're just going to like think about money once and the money is going to come to us. That's not how it works. But when you instead get out of your head and get into your body, and you work on opening up the channel, opening up your energy meridians, allowing the energy from the universe to flow through you and to you at all times while you are grounded in. Like, this is the work that I've been doing over this year that has absolutely changed me. It's made it so I'm no longer living in my head. It's made it so I can very quickly be like, that's not a thought I want to think, fuck out of here. It has made it so I have changed who I am at a cellular level. It's made it so price tags aren't what I am allowing myself to live by. When you allow yourself to open up your energy channels, when you allow yourself to be the holy human that you were born to be, instead of the human that's like, oh, but how much money does that cost? Oh, but like, does this make sense? Because if I do this and this, get out of your head. Your head isn't allowing your desires to talk to you. Your head isn't allowing your desires to flow through you. And so many people are wondering why they feel so disconnected, why they can't connect to their intuition, why they feel so powerless. How much time are you spending connecting to yourself? How much time are you spending connecting to your power? How much time are you spending listening to your intuition? Because so much of this, like, I'm not saying that this work is easy. This is the hardest work you'll ever do, and then things get to be easy. Like, this is what not enough people talk about enough. We see the manifestation videos on TikTok and it's like, oh, do this manifestation method. And we get really excited, but then we get knocked out of our power because we're living out of excitement for most of the day. And while we're trying to manifest from lack. We're trying to manifest something so we feel better about ourselves or our lives, instead of flipping the mirror on us and saying, what do I need to do so I feel better about myself today? What do I need to think so that I think better of myself? What do I need to be focusing on so that my attention is resulting in better results? What do I need to be vibrating with so that I'm effortlessly aligning with my desires instead of constantly trying to get them? Like, I'm in lack, but I need this thing, which actually keeps pushing the thing further away from us. 100% agree. I love that. This is the thing, right? Like, so many people are waking up to the importance of spirituality, the importance of energetics, the importance of manifestation. Yet so many people don't understand how to start living in alignment. They don't understand how to actually open up this channel to receive. They don't actually understand how to do the frequency work. And the frequency work, this is what's going to change your life, because you're no longer going to be letting your mind be the point that allows you to expand. This is the thing. We live in an energetic universe that's always expanding. And when you follow your desires and when you allow that frequency to be the guidance, you're constantly expanding and you're stepping into bigger expansions every time you follow it. And this is the goal as humans, to keep unlocking ourselves energetically so that way we become an open frequency to receive. Like, in order for you to manifest, you have to be able to receive. And so many people can't manifest because they aren't able to receive because they're so blocked off. And this is the work that's going to change everything for how you feel about yourself, for how you feel about your life. So that way, when you're going about your life doing the everyday things, you are in love with your life. So many of us, and I know this because I did this for so long in my life, I was trying to wait until I had this much success or this much money or this much whatever so I could feel some sort of way. Or I was constantly like, well, life is going to feel differently when I get this. That's not actually true. You have to feel differently before your reality gets different. You have to start falling in love with your life now, because that's how you're going to create a life that you're absolutely in love with. If you're going throughout your day in a means to an ends type of thing, well, I'm posting this because this is this, and I do this because of this and this and this, you aren't living in the magic of the moment. You're getting in your head because you're like, okay, so I don't like my life now, so what do I need to do so I can like my life more? You need to start liking your life now. You need to start liking yourself now. You need to start removing the limiting beliefs and removing the energy that you don't like. You need to start showing up as a different version of yourself. You need to commit to yourself. You need to get into places and spaces that allow you to expand. You need to get in with a coach that calls you out on your bullshit. You need to get into a program that allows you to plug into this energy that's available to you. You need to do things differently than how you've always done them, so that way you can change your cellular DNA, so that way you can manifest easily, effortlessly, consistently, like all of the things. And all of these desires, all of these wants, all of these grandiose visions that we have for our lives are all attached to these feelings. And when you, I call it reverse energetics when I teach you this in AOM, Alchemy of Manifestation, my manifestation program, which is really just an energetic realigning program. It's you learning how to operate at a different frequency. This is when you learn that you're no longer waiting for things outside of you to change. You are constantly doing the inner work on yourself to change so that your world changes. And this is such a powerful switch, because it allows you to go from waiting for things to change and just waiting and waiting and waiting and feeling like you're that hamster on the wheel or feeling like you're living in Groundhog's Day, to you actually feeling alive and feeling that electricity and feeling the excitement and feeling what it feels like to be a human who's alive. because right now is the only moment you have. So what can you do right now so that way your life is better? What can you do right now so that way you feel better about yourself? What can you do right now so that you're energetically aligning? So many people, when it comes to doing the shadow work and when it comes to the energy healing and when it comes to the mindset work, they're so busy looking at all of their past traumas and experiences that they continuously keep that energetic cord tied. Instead of cutting that cord and saying, yes, this was my past, and yes, I'm going to look at that and say, okay, I get why that caused this belief, and now I'm choosing to release that experience. I'm choosing to feel the emotions that I didn't feel. I'm choosing to come home to myself, and I'm now choosing to think differently. There's this thing that I've been doing this year about how can I shift now? Instead of having to look at all of my traumas, instead of having to get so far in my past and really just reliving it all, how can I consciously be working with my unconscious patterns to rewire my mind and at the same time clean up my energetic field so that way I'm constantly doing the work and healing myself and manifesting and expanding and growing and having success in business and making money. It's all the ands, because a lot of people I find are still doing the shadow work. So I can't make money because I'm still healing, or I can't be a coach right now because I still have these traumas, or like all of these things. But we're humans that grew up in a trauma-based society. We're arguably always going to have traumas to work through, even if they aren't new traumas. But how can you work through your past traumas? How can you work through your limiting beliefs? How can you do it now in the moment so that way you're not taking months out of your life to like go into this cave to do shadow work and then you're actually not growing your business? Like, what if the shadow work is you stuck in a sabotage, like a self-sabotage pattern because you're afraid to be successful because you haven't dealt with your mother wound, or you haven't dealt with your worthiness wound, or whatever it is. But the work that I'm doing now is really about let's not ignore it. Let's absolutely feel it. Let's look at it. And then let's decide and let's move through it. And like now it's like, let's move. Like the way that I've come to know it is your energy is constantly moving. If you stop and try and make yourself pause to reflect on all of these things, you start feeling stagnant. And that's when our open head centers start going crazy. So it's like healing and moving. This is the thing that we're doing in my world. Knowing and noticing where the desires are, and then knowing and noticing where you're stopping yourself, where you're telling yourself that that desire is impossible for you, where your energy is starting to build up so that way your channel can be clearly open to receive, but all of your past experiences and your limiting beliefs come up to block you in the way. The work is to unblock your channel so that way you can receive all of your desires. So with that being said, I am so excited to announce that Frequency, the membership is open. I hesitated because it's so much more than a membership. But this is going to be access to channeled activation. So there's going to be a spot in the program where it's just going to be like channeled activations where it's like this, where I'm giving you more like real time, like little like snippets and talks. So it's like, how can we constantly be rewiring our mind and recoding our cellular DNA and regulating our nervous system? Like, these are the areas that I'm working through, and this is the magic, like, sweet spot. This is where it's at. Whether you're a business owner or not, I prefer you be a business owner because then there's really no rules. But like wherever you're at, this is going to be so amazing because it's going to give you access to these channeled activations, and you're going to get a masterclass each month. So that way you can really work with the different facets of frequency shifting in a way where it allows it to land in your body, in a way where it fully becomes magnetized and unlocked. And so this channel is clearing. So each month we're going to talk about something, and we're going to go really deep So that way it's not a heady thing. Like, it's not a concept that you're playing with anymore. It's a frequency that you're dropping into, and then you get to play with because you're living in this frequency and you're fully in alignment with the frequency you were meant to be in as a human. And this is the most powerful work that I've ever done, and this is quite honestly probably like my life's work. Like, yes, I'm talking to you about businesses, but it's because I want you to have the freedom to create the life that you desire, and the way that you do that is by having your own business. And what's so much more important is you opening up your channel, is you becoming the potent manifester that you were born to be, is you really stepping into the personal power that you have, is you coming fully online with your magic, with your authenticity, with your truth, with your mission, with your vision. Because here's the thing, right? When you're an open channel to receive, when you play in the frequency of your desires, your mind and the logical voice that has been keeping you small, it'll still be there, but that voice is going to be like this little whisper that like sounds like a pesky fly when it comes by your ear, and you're like, "Ugh, get out of here." Like, you don't even entertain it, because you can sense the vibration and the lack, and that like that buzzing fly sound, that's going to be the sound that you hear when your limiting beliefs come up. So it's like you don't even entertain it, because the voice of your intuition is speaking to you like this, with clarity, with reverence, with this like, full-bodied, I feel it. It activates me. And when you start doing this work, it's so easy to rewire your mind because you're so conscious. Here's the thing, when you start living consciously, your mind has no fucking chance against you, because your mind only has power when you're living unconsciously. Your mind can only rule your life when you are going about the things and you're unconsciously living. You know, when you drive somewhere and you're like, "Oh fuck, I don't even know how I got here." Like, I wasn't really paying attention. Last thing I remember, I was like leaving my parking lot, and now here I am 20 minutes later. What happened? I mean, you were still awake, right? You were still driving. You didn't cause an accident, thank God, and you're here. It's because you unconsciously were driving, because it's a route you've taken so many times before that your mind didn't have to think about it. It's just like, well, parking lot, and here's where we're going, so duh. And during that whole time, what were you thinking about? Probably all of your fears, all of your doubts, all of the things that you haven't yet done, all of the things on your to-do list that are like burning a hole in you energetically. You're probably not thinking about all of the amazing clients coming into your world, all of the awesome manifestations, how beautiful the sunlight is, how gorgeous your drive is, how fucking awesome the playlist that you have on is, how amazing it feels to belt your song lyrics out and have no one judge you or listen to you. You can be living unconsciously and going throughout the day as somebody who is clipping their coupons and allowing the price tag to live their lives and control themselves. Or you can be the person that is tapped into the wealth frequency, that's fully present, that's fully conscious, that is understanding that as a human, there are things that we have to do that are mundane and whatever, and you can still find the magic in the mundane, and you can still tap into a frequency of expansion. And this is the work. Like, this is the work. I want to help you become a conscious spiritual being instead of being an unconscious lack-based human, because that's where society is still at. And this is where you're going to constantly feel the pull from the matrix to the vortex. And when I can train you to learn your own energetic management, always, like constantly, when you can manage you, when you can manage your energy, when you can manage your frequency, when you can manage your embodiment, when you can manage your mindset, and it's all like hand to hand, when you can do this is when the outside world can't take your power away, because you're grounded into it. And something that you're holding on to, it can't be taken from you. And not like gripping on like tightly, but like your root chakra is balanced, so it's held and it's grounded into. And your crown chakra is balanced, and so are all of your other chakras. So because you have this balance and you're living in alignment, your divine energy channels through. Your electricity, the aliveness of being a human, the inspiration, the ideas, because you're connected to this frequency and you're grounded into it, and you're moving. Like, you're moving in this frequency, you're moving in this alignment. This is how you are able to manifest. This is how you're able to build an out of this world life. This is how you're able to fall in love with yourself and fall in love with your life. And this is how you start magnetizing everything that you desire to you. So if you are like, oh my God, yes, like I want to be that woman that gets to drink 2 sips out of her wine if she wants, and then go do whatever she wants to do because she can do that, because she's got the money and because she knows that she's beautiful and she's confident and like, oh, life just wants to give me whatever I want, so I'm going to go play. Like, if this is who you want to be, if this is where you want to be, this is the work that we're doing in my world. Like, of course, get in my private mentorship if you're like, Alexa, I need this now. Like, not need, let's not do the need. I desire this now. Like, I want to feel this alive, and I want to start doing this work now. Like, I know that I can get into the quantum world of possibilities and things can shift now. So I'm ready for things to shift now. Like, then of course, get into mentorship with me, because there's nothing more transformative than having someone to walk with as you become the most authentic version of yourself. Most people, quite frankly, aren't doing this work, let alone understanding, getting, having space for you to be able to do this work. So this is the work that really, really happens in my close proximity mentorship containers. And if you're in my close proximity mentorship containers, you get access to all of the things while you're with me. So Frequency is a year-long membership. And as long as you're in mentorship with me, you're in Frequency. If you want to stay in Frequency and your mentorship ends, you can either continue mentorship with me, or you can just hop into Frequency. Like, there's so much flexibility and fluidity in my world, and this is why I have so many offers. And this is why, like, I am now so connected to my power that for me, I really love doing the micro offer thing, because it allows me to really channel where I'm at now and to be able to give you where I'm at now and the codes and the wisdom and where I've been and what I've been doing and how I've gotten here. And then I give it to you, and then you get to like play and implement, and then I get to go to the next thing. So you're going to see during this time that there's a lot of master classes that come out, and there's a lot of offers that are coming out. And this is a way, Frequency is a way for you to know that you have at least one master class with me a month. So that way you're continuing to do this work, because this is legacy making work. Like, you are becoming a legacy as yourself. So this isn't something that you do once. And like, if we're always expanding, then this is a constant container to support your evolution and your expansion. And that's what's so powerful about this, because you are committing to your evolution. You are committing to your expansion. And this isn't going to break the bank for you to do it. There's so many women that have set price points that are making it so the coaching world is so unattainable. And I'm here to marry the gap between you can be spiritual and get paid abundantly, and you can teach life-changing concepts that you can charge an insane amount for. And what's the ethical price? Yes, there's no regulation, so we can charge whatever. And if we want to build a sustainable, ethical coaching business that can really withstand the times, then how do we operate now? So you're going to see how I move as a spiritual, conscious being who is inviting people into high proximity containers and lower price point containers, not because I'm undervaluing myself, but because my commitment and my dedication and my mission on this planet is to help raise the consciousness planet, the consciousness of the planet. And in order for I can't talk anymore. And in order for us to do that, we need to be empowering all of the people with these tools and with these skills and with these abilities. It's really about waking people up. and I want to wake people up. So this is like, some women might be like, are you fucking kidding me, Alexa? This is all you're charging for this? Yeah, that's where I'm at right now. Like, yeah, I feel really fucking good that I'm inviting you into frequency for $88 a month. Like, are you fucking kidding me? That's incredible. You are going to get one masterclass. You're going to get these channeled activations. Like, this is going to be the space for you to come and play and energetically align. And like, this is going to be so juicy because like, you will literally be able to listen to these activations and these channelings and these masterclasses wherever you are. You will have access to this in so many different ways. Like, I'm not going to share all of the details with you. You just got to get in. But if I were starting my spiritual journey, if I were really like trying to work with energetics, if I was really trying to get out of the trying to phase of my life and instead like the embodiment, the being, the living, the deliciousness, the juiciness, this is where I would be. Like, I would be here. You want to be here. Honestly, even if you're not an entrepreneur, you want to be here because these aren't business activations. These are energetic activations to activate you. And we're going to be talking about all of the channeling that I have received on how you unlock your personal power as a human. Like, I have been channeling and getting downloads of these frequency shifts and how we calibrate as humans to new frequencies. And this isn't shit you can Google. Like, this literally came from the Google of God. I'm going to start using that from now on. I like that. The Google of God. I am no longer at a space in my life where I'm Googling shit. Like, I am channeling it, which means that I am getting inspiration, downloads, ideas, and working with the divine. Like, this is co-creation at its full mastery and full magic. And this is the work. Like, oh, it's so fun. It's so exciting. It's so juicy. So if you desire to be in frequency, get it now. I haven't put a link up, so you're just going to have to DM me. But I'm telling you, you want to be here. And if you have any of your friends that are like doing shadow work, that are light workers, that are star seeds, that want to learn to manifest and want to like really open up their potency and their frequency as a spiritual being, as a 5D being, as a holy human, get into frequency. Because this is it. Like, this is the work that's going to change you, us, the collective. This is where we're going, and I want you to be at the forefront of it. I'm so excited to have you. If you have any questions about anything that we talked about, if you want to get into mentorship with me, if you want to join frequency, if you have questions about anything that's happening in my world, just DM me. I love you all so much. Have the most amazing day, and bye. Thank you so much for listening to this episode. If you're ready to go deeper and to get into my world, you can go to my website, alexaraysmith.com. You'll find all of my current programs on there. If you're desiring to get mentored by me, then the best thing to do is shoot me a DM on Instagram and we can talk about mentorship options and which one's the best fit for you. If you're absolutely loving this podcast, please go rate it 5 stars and let me know why you're loving it. This will help me share the podcast with more people. Thank you so much for spending your time with me. And until the next episode, keep manifesting the most incredible life.